It is late Friday night, the blue brand might be over, but there's still one more person we need to lay the SmackDown on. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. It is very late, it's like nearly 5 AM in the UK. Obviously, SmackDown is over. If you've seen SmackDown, then good for you. It wasn't that great, but there was a pretty big moment on it, an important moment. An emotional moment for a certain wrestler tonight, and that was Shotzi Blackheart. She was shaving her hair in honour to try and show solidarity, to try and be with her sister. Her sister, unfortunately, is dealing with cancer. Hopefully she does well. Hopefully she can beat that and recover from it. But as we've seen tonight, Shotzi, as part of the storyline with Bayley, did shave her head, but the real reason behind that was because, obviously, unfortunately, her sister has been diagnosed with cancer. But let's talk about JD from New York's reaction to that. So you might be asking, who is JD from New York? Well, you know, he's a big content creator, he's got big subscribers, but more importantly, he is a big dumbass who has a massive fucking hard-on for Vincent Kennedy McMahon. This guy literally despises Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He has a really unhealthy obsession with Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Anything Tony Khan does, JD will kiss his ass. Anything Triple H does, JD will kiss his ass. But literally anything he doesn't like in WWE, he will blame McMahon. McMahon's old, McMahon's senile, McMahon is this, McMahon is that. I mean, this guy blames McMahon for wrestling being bad, but he's such a big fucking idiot because he doesn't realise without McMahon, there is no wrestling. Vince Kennedy McMahon made wrestling. He turned wrestling into the global phenomenon that it once was. You can argue, maybe not anymore, but WWE is still a global international brand. So McMahon's done his job. Anyway, more importantly, so this Shotzi Blackheart segment aired tonight. She shaved her head. JD went on Twitter and he said, you can see the tweet there, they had Shotzi shave all her hair off. My God, guaranteed that's a Vince McMahon call. There's just some creative decisions you don't make. Most of the time, that's one of them. Hashtag SmackDown. Again, with no knowledge, with no proof, with absolutely nothing, the guy has seen something that he didn't like, something that he thought wasn't good, something he thought he could hate McMahon on, and he's decided to jump straight in there and basically accuse McMahon of shaving Shotzi's head for no reason. He then followed up that tweet about 10 minutes later saying, fucking clueless geeks in this thread after 5 minutes. She wanted to do it. Do you know her personally? Shave her head for a story that nobody gives a shit about with long-term value for a woman WWE never pushed and never will push, especially with a shaved head. First of all, this is the fucking biggest geek of them all, JD from New York. Right? If you want to talk about geeks, I've never met someone that is a bigger geek. I've never met someone that actually thinks he knows shit about wrestling when in reality he knows nothing. If this guy ran either AEW, well, AEW's already sucks, but if this guy ran AEW, it would go out of business within a year. This guy is absolutely clueless, but he seems to think he's the best thing. He seems to think he's sliced fucking bread when it comes to wrestling, and he's not. Then he says, do we know her personally? No, we don't know her personally, but neither do you, dickhead, and you were the one that was jumping in straight away, saying that this was nothing to do with her, and it was all to do with Vince McMahon. So in fact, you know what? She did want to do it, because now we know that the reason she done it was because of her sister, so what do you know, dipshit? You know absolutely nothing. And then he goes on to say that Shotzi shaved her head for a story that nobody gives a shit about. Well, funnily enough, I think Shotzi gives a shit about this story. I think Shotzi gives a shit about the fact her sister has cancer. And I think Shotzi gives a shit about the fact that she shaved her head in honour for her sister. So JD New York, when you said fucking clueless geeks in the beginning of your tweet, take your own advice. You are a fucking clueless geek. But again, he doubled down for a third time. He sent out another tweet and he said, I've upset some people tonight in the wrestling space because I don't live on Twitter 24/7. Some of you who say I take shit too seriously should look in a mirror. I don't give a fuck if I upset you. Tune into the live stream after the show is over. I'll give you all the ... Nice try, but I would rather tune into 3 hours of Monday Night Raw than listen to this guy talk about wrestling for 3 minutes. The fact of the reality is, this guy is a loser. He cannot apologise. He cannot admit he was wrong, because if he admits he was wrong about Shotzi and what she did for her sister, then he is admitting that he was wrong about Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He can't do that because he's obsessed. He has to paint McMahon in the most negative, bad light picture he possibly can. If he apologises, if he says he made a mistake, then that means McMahon wasn't involved. That means McMahon wasn't responsible for Shotzi shaving her hair, and he can't do that because he has to blame McMahon for every little thing that he thinks is bad in wrestling. The guy's a fucking idiot, man, and I had to make this video. It's late though. I'm going to go. Fuck JD from New York. Guy is a tool, and yeah, hopefully Shotzi's sister gets better soon. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time. Peace.